and concludes that the T-Rex spirit did a dance. Hey. Okay, run that by me one more time.
Okay. You remember back when you were run through the Super Nintendo into the TV and back out? The video game episode?
Whoa.
Here we go!
Oh my gosh, I am back. Right?
I said at the time that left some kind of an echo of consciousness in there.
I recall that.
Since then, that consciousness seems to have actually helped us once or twice. It cured the virus in the camera.
Nah! What are you doing?
If we can't take you down, we're going after your tech. I've infected your camera with a virus. Soon it will fail, and you'll have no way to record your precious reviews. Best of luck fixing it.
What the?
This is incredible! The virus is gone! The camera is perfect again! And it somehow channeled your dream of doing a review into my memory bank so we could use it.
You know what? I'm sorry, cut.
What's wrong?
I'm sorry, but I'm just... I'm just too tired to do this review right now. Guess I only needed a little cat nap after all. I guess that wraps it up. Well, I guess that wraps it up. Well, I guess that wraps it up. Well, I guess that wraps it up. What?
Sean? The review is already 95% complete.
Oh, so that's how that happened.
I already said that! Anyway, I think I've gathered enough data to channel the spirit in the SNES into the Dino Shotgun Charger. We can then put that charger into this Megazord receptacle, and hopefully it can better communicate with us. Maybe even help us out more than it has.
But couldn't that ruin the shotgun charger? With the silver skull around, I kind of like having a little extra firepower.
That's why I whipped up a spare.
Always thinking. All right, let's give it a try.
Activating consciousness transfer program now.
Wow, I think it's finished. Let's take a look.
Sean, are you okay?
I think so. I do feel a little bit weird.
Well, you were blown clear across the room. Lay still for a bit.
What are you talking about? I'm right here, standing next to the TV.
You're what? Whoa!
Oh, for the love of Christmas, what now?
You're looking a little orange. And gator Ish.
What do you... Oh, come on now. What's going on here?
I see. When you grabbed the charger, you switched bodies with whatever was in the Super Nintendo. It is somehow associated with the spirit of the alligator. So there's an alligator spirit in your body now. And you ended up in the Zord, which it seems grew larger to accommodate your more complex spirit.
I have a feeling the phrase, "just do the review," is about to be uttered.
You know me too well. I gotta do the science and the scanning and such. I'll let you know when I have something.
Probably a few moments after that's all for this review, huh?
That depends on you, doesn't it? Hop to.
Well, hello, heroes. It's me, the Orange Ranger. Or, I guess this time, the Orange Zord. But in any case, welcome to another Power Rangers Dino SuperCharge episode review. This week we have angsty drama, tearful reunions, colorful costumes, and yes, a new Ranger. Let's take a bite out of the 5th episode of Dino SuperCharge, Roar of the Red Ranger. We start with the baddies, and medias res, as Fury is telling Heckle about a plan. He doesn't like it, but nobody's pitched anything better, so he approves it. But then an eavesdropping Singe drops in with his own plan, using a virus to take down the Rangers' computer system. But how can he get it on the computers? He has a fast monster. Fast as a ninja. In fact, he is a ninja. And his name is... Ninja. More on that later. Over with the Rangers, Tyler is leading the team on something of a treasure hunt, using a map that looks like the back of a Denny's placemat. To be fair, Tyler drew it when he was 5 years old, but that doesn't stop Shelby from throwing shade all over the thing. Oh, and by the way, Coda apparently eats crayons. The map, despite being drawn by a kid Tyler, works, and he finds a memory box. The place is a campsite he and his dad would camp at every year, and each year they'd add something to the box. When he was 8 years old, they added a baseball he caught, and his dad told him that he was leaving an expedition early to be at his birthday party. But then he disappeared. The feels are real. Tyler tosses a Dino Bite cafe cap in the box, maintaining the tradition, and it represents his friendships this year. Then it's time for some training as Tyler practices shooting targets from the Dino Cycle. Afterwards, Kendall and Shelby point out that Tyler's accuracy is off. 4 out of 6 bullseyes when he's usually perfect. Though I'm not sure bullseyes matter with a double-barrel laser gun. Just after Ninja sneaks the virus onto the laptop, Kendall analyzes his Energem, which, for I guess data gathering, is in this weird box, while Shelby probes at what might be distracting him. I thought it was going to be for dad feels. Makes sense, right? Close, but no. He's got a plan to keep looking for his dad. The tunnel he was in has had more cave-ins, including one that flooded a section, but he thinks he can hold his breath and swim through. Shelby freaks out about Tyler wanting to risk his life like that, though I wonder why he couldn't just morph. If you can use your Energem to show up a rival and morph to go on a date, isn't this even more important? Anyway, she tells him he might have to accept that his dad didn't survive. He of course doesn't take this well, saying she may not even know him at all before running off. Unfortunately, he ran off without his Energem, and he's attacked by Ninja, knocked into a tree, and dizzied. However, he is able to barely see that he's saved by a mysterious light blue ranger. I was kind of hoping they'd play up him not being sure if it was maybe Coda, or Riley, blue, or green, but they didn't. In the lab, while Chase and Ivan sword fight, I guess Riley is busy and Chase can't rely on his guns all the time, Riley and Kendall work on a new charger. It works specifically with T-Rex energy and will activate something called T-Rex SuperCharge mode. But just after activating the download, Riley looks away from the screen and neither see the virus download from the laptop to the charger, infecting it. Tyler stumbles back to the lab and tells the Rangers about Ninja and the Ranger he saw, who was likely the Aqua Ranger. He left before Tyler could talk to him, but they actually bring back Rusty's observation from last week, that Tyler's Energem was a once-in-a-lifetime find, and that probably meant that he'd seen one before. Could Rusty be the Aqua Ranger? The Rangers leave to test Supercharge mode, with Shelby wanting to talk and Tyler not having it right now. Hey, Kendall gets to be morphed! Yay! Not that she gets to do anything, but it's baby steps at this point. Tyler activates the charger, but the virus makes it go haywire. Tyler is blasted and then just hunches over. Coda asks if he's okay. No, he's not okay! His mouth plate blew off! Tyler begins acting like a T-Rex, wildly attacking his friends before running off. At the lab, Kendall discovers the virus. You gotta have live monitoring, Kendall, and concludes it caused the T-Rex spirit to take over Tyler's mind. Somehow. Riley says that, logically, they need to search the forest at sunrise. Part of me wants to say that this was something of a small tribute, as this episode aired on the 1-year anniversary of the death of famed Spock actor Leonard Nimoy. If I could form a Vulcan salute with these hands, I would. But Riley has used that logically line before, and it's getting old. He doesn't need to say the word logically for us to know that he's the smart, logical one. Besides, where is the logical connection between his mind was taken over by a T-Rex and we need to wait until sunrise to go look? Kendall wants to whip up a new charger to help with Tyler. You know, you aren't exactly batting 1,000 in that department today, Kendall. We then see Tyler growling at the moon because T-Rexes are wolf dinosaurs because of reasons. The villains also want to find Tyler as Singe asks Snide for the help of a monster. He needs a monster that will serve as a hunter, so he gets this monster named Hunter. Okay, Dino Charge Super, I'll save this for the pros cons section, but we really need to have a chat about monster naming. Also interesting in this scene is that Heckle apparently likes Singe, but Snide does not. It's always interesting to see that they have different personalities that can shake things up. Maybe at some point Snide will destroy a monster Heckle really likes. Talk about internal conflict. Kendall sends the Rangers out to find Tyler. Can we please get a throwaway line to the effect of, I wish I could come with you, but I have a board meeting to attend, or something? They are not doing enough to establish that Kendall is a Ranger now and could be helping, but she's not. The Rangers find Hunter looking for Tyler and are about to pull the super smart follow them and see what happens trick when Coda sniffs out Ninja and attacks, leading the two monsters to attack the Rangers. Shelby leads the morph, always nice to see in a team otherwise full of dudes, and I guess the team is now just called Dino SuperCharge. I don't know why the name changed, but I can't complain every week. Shelby sends Chase to the memory box where she figures Tyler will go if there's any of his mind left, while the Rangers fight Ninja and Hunter. These monsters are very strong, able to fully channel the power of CG effects in a way only the Rangers usually can. Meanwhile, Chase gets to the memory box and sure enough, Tyler arrives behind him and attacks. Chase tries the Hypnotize Charger, which, though it's not seen, for the record, is Charger number 20, powered by the Ammonite fossil. Wait a minute. Ammonite? Ammonite? And a fossil? Praise Helix! Anyway, it works for about 5 seconds. Thanks for that, I guess. Definitely needed to include that. Anyway, Chase is really on the ropes until he's saved by the Aqua Ranger. Chase tells the Ranger to be careful with his friend, but Aqua already knows who Tyler is, calling him by name and saying he's not his enemy. To prove it, he demorphs. I'm not your enemy. I'm your dad! Yes, it was hardly a secret, but let's make it official. Tyler's father, James Navarro, is officially the Aqua Ranger. The casting news for him was leaked a long time ago, and last week's episode made it pretty painfully clear. But hey, at least they tried a little misdirection with Rusty, so kudos there. There's a funny little cheat in the story, but it works in canon, so it's okay. Chase points out that Tyler's dad hasn't aged a day from the photo, surmising it must be that the Aqua Energem must have frozen his aging like theirs. Makes it pretty convenient for the photo to actually have been taken at the same time as filming, but like I said, in story it makes sense, so it's just a funny quirk. That being said, how old is James supposed to be? He looks to be Tyler's age, which is around 18. More on that later. But to have a kid that was 8 years old, he'd have to be somewhere around 30, probably closer to my age, 33. Then again, I'm 33 and only in the past year or so stopped getting carded for alcohol, so maybe he just looks young like I do. James grabs the baseball and apologizes for not being there all this time, and the fields rush into Tyler and somehow break him free of the virus. This reunion hug? I was almost cutting onions, folks. 26 episodes of story. They built it up perfect and earned all the feels. However, Riley has to butt in with, "Oh man, there's only 4 of us and 2 monsters are beating us up, wah." So they head back to the battle and Tyler and James morph. Sadly, it's an instamorph, so James's actual morph has to wait. With 7 Rangers on the scene, Hunter doesn't like the odds and scoots. But we only need 1 Ranger today. Chase gives Tyler the fresh, clean, virus-scanned Dino SuperCharger. The T-Rex Supercharger is number 1+ and is red and white. The process starts with giving it to Rexy. When Rexy chomps it, he shrinks down to gun size. Tyler then uses the gun to activate Supercharge mode, placing him in a red and white suit with more yellow spikes and a fierce-looking T-Rex face as a chest plate. This is the debut of a new power-up, so of course Tyler proceeds to beat Ninja 18.5 shades of stupid! In fact, Tiny Rexy can even attack on his own in this mode. Tyler can activate a finisher by sort of snapping Rexy's neck. I was hoping this would be removed or at least not shown clearly. I was never comfortable with this in the Sentai. And combining it with the Dino Morpher. So he basically snaps Rexy's neck and then shoves a gun up his butt. Fun! Ugh. Ninja goes boom and then goes big. Tyler removes the supercharger, which returns him to normal and makes Rexy big again. Chase summons Packy and Plezio. Kendall was morphed in this episode! Let her fly her freaking... So it's Plezio Charge Megazord Pack-a Rex formation time, and we get to see Aqua in Dino Drive and Dino Super Drive. Some might see Aqua having a Dino Drive Charger as a bit of a plot hole, but since they don't seem to be Ranger specific, I'm guessing he just used either Kendall's or Phillips. Quick Zord fight, basically just a finishing move, kaboom! Hunter begs for his life, but Fury says Hunter let another Ranger arrive on the scene, and Heckle's ready to take a life. But Singe steps in, saying he has a new plan, but he needs Hunter as bait. So, you have to change his name to Bait now, right? James tells some stories while Tyler and Shelby make up. Rusty is also there, and this is where the episode kind of leaves the rails. Rusty knew that James was alive, and that he was the Aqua Ranger for 10 years, ever since the cave-in. But they didn't know that there were any other Energems, or other Power Rangers, until Rusty saw Tyler's Energem. If I could ask one simple question, How do you not know there are other Power Rangers? Especially if you are a Power Ranger. Do people not watch the news? Read things on the internet? You have to imagine that the Power Rangers are international public figures. They are freaking superheroes. There is no possible way anyone on Earth would not know what Power Rangers were, or that there were Rangers if they actually existed. And oh, by the way, coming back to that note on Tyler's age, if the cave-in was 10 years ago and Tyler was 8 at the time, that means he's 18 now. Meaning he's 18 and Shelby is apparently in high school, which means she is at the most 18, and even if she is, she was 17 last year. Shyler just got a little bit trickier. James said that when Rusty told him about the red Energem and that his son had it, he felt he could finally stop running and tell Tyler he was alive. Question number 2. Running from what? What could possibly lead you to conclude that you have to let your son believe that you might have died? And Tyler went to see Rusty, and Rusty didn't even give him any real hope. I'm not as upset about that part because I can see a possible answer. The classic superhero protecting your family by hiding thing. Maybe we'll see at some point that someone like Fury found the Aqua Ranger after the cave-in and threatened to find his family if he didn't hand it over. So he felt like reuniting with Tyler would be endangering him. When he learned that Tyler was a Power Ranger already fighting evil, there was no more need to hide. So that is a we'll see. The episode ends with a nice father-son game of catch where we learn that, interestingly, Tyler is left-handed. Episode 5, Roar of the Red Ranger. Pros, the writing of this episode was fantastic with the emotion and drama between the characters. Introducing Aqua in this way was both subtle and a worthy payoff. And Supercharge mode definitely entered with a bang. Cons, this show cannot name monsters to save its life, Kendall still isn't allowed to pilot her own Zord, and there were some issues with the premise. Overall, this was a fantastic episode with great drama, emotion, and a heartfelt reunion. Roar of the Red Ranger gets Supercharge's first 5 Super Fossils out of 5. Judd Lynn, Becca Barnes, and another writer, Alwyn Dale, wrote this episode. Kudos to all 3 of you. This was easily the best written episode of the season. The conflict between Shelby and Tyler was real and emotional on both sides, a classic neither is wrong scenario. Tyler should have held on to hope that his dad lived for as long as he could, and Shelby was also right to worry about Tyler risking his life just for simple clues. The scenes with Tyler and his dad James were so full of emotion. Their reunion was only the second time Power Rangers has gotten anywhere near starting up the old waterworks. The beach scene at the end of Time Force, for the record. That was a well-written, well-acted moment that was earned by the slow build-up of Tyler's hunt. And even the Ranger stuff, Supercharge, etc., was well fit in, though it was kind of a hard cut to Supercharge itself. And it was a genius move to end up tying the mystery of where the Aqua Ranger was to Tyler's dad, though we still need some explaining on why he stayed away so long. It was a subtle mystery, always on the back of our minds, but then they were able to hit 2 plot points at once, bringing us 2 missing characters as one. And yes, Supercharge itself. The writers faced a challenge, as in the Sentai, this was perhaps one of the biggest reflections of the Samba theming, but it was played beautifully and just came across as an ultra-powerful mode for Tyler, who really kicked butt. I wonder what became of that ninja's throwing stars. Alright, Dino SuperCharge, let's have that chat. Listen, you can't just look at a monster, see what it is, and call it that. It's just uncreative. The ninja monster is named Ninja. The monster you need to help hunt is Hunter? Really? I realize other Power Ranger shows have done this. Heck, Dino Charge had a monster named Bones, and MMPR also had one named Bones. But you have to try. It really just comes off as lazy. Heck, for a ninja, you could have just been really mysterious. He doesn't have a name. He's just a ninja. And yes, you could play off the whole Hunter is a regular name thing because other incredibly clever writers have used that gag and it's funny and incredibly clever, okay? But monsters don't normally have human names. I think I would have named these monsters Shadow Sword and Huntrap. Hashtag Let Kendall Fly lives on, as this time Chase summons her Zord. Technically everyone, including Shelby, pilots it, but that's literally everyone that is there but her. This is also approaching not worth mentioning anymore levels, as it's pretty clear this is just going to keep happening. It's just sad. Finally, there were a couple of issues with the premise in this episode. First of all, once again, the villain plot depended on the Rangers having their equipment outside. Ninja may be fast, but he doesn't know where the base is, so that wouldn't help. It at least makes more sense here than it did in Let Sleeping Zords Lie, as training does need to take place outside. maybe Kendall should contact Cam about holodeck technology? But it was still a bit convenient. The other was that serious issue with James and Rusty not realizing there were other Power Rangers, meaning there were other Energems. I get how it contributes to the story, with James likely not wanting to endanger his son until he realized that he is a Power Ranger. But it's not realistic in the 24-hour cable news and internet age. They would know. There's no way they wouldn't know. And you might say they knew there were Power Rangers, but they didn't know they had Energems. But they look just like Aqua. Rusty knew that James was a Power Ranger, so he's likely seen him morphed. Then you see all the other Rangers on the news looking like him with that yellow tooth slash thing on the chest and all, and it's just easy to put two and two together. He wouldn't know the Red Ranger was his son, but he would have found a way to contact the other Rangers or just shown up at a fight. But this week, thankfully, the cons are nitpicks and the pros are amazing. This was far and away the best episode of SuperCharge yet, and it gives me some more confidence about this season's direction. Well, that's the review. How are we looking, Kaizoku? Let me come over there.
I think I'm set, but we're gonna have to risk the other shotgun charger.
Why?
That charger inside, you is holding your spirit, so I can't remove it. I need the other charger to use as a conduit. If everything works like it should, the alligator spirit should go into the charger you are inside now, leaving the other charger in its normal state.
Well, I guess we don't have much of a choice. Let's do it.
Activating consciousness transfer process now! Well, Sean, are you okay?
I seem to be. Once again, great work, Kaizoku.
Thanks.
Hey, what am I over here, chopped liver?
Who or what are you?
Oh, how rude of me. Let me introduce myself, all proper and such. Name's Chomsky.
And where did you come from?
Hey, now, come on there, Boltsy. You know the answer to that. When Bambino over here took a couple of trips down SNES Junction, he left something behind and all. And, an echo, you called it. That's me.
You are an echo of me?
Don Tootin, you, my friend, you got the spirit of the alligator, which is why I was only able to manifest like that for a bit. But now you guys got me out and all, and I'm in this super comfy Zord, and I got a personality, and bada bing, bada boom!
Well, welcome to the team, I guess?
Oh, kid, let me tell you, you're gonna be glad I'm here. I tell you what. See, while I control this here body and all, I'm stored inside of that charger you put in here. You can take me out of here if you have to, and only if you have to. And I can pump some more juice into that Dino shotgun kid over here has.
That actually sounds pretty cool. Well, Chomsky, as the latest member of our team, would you like to handle the rest?
Sure, kid, no problem. Okay, so let's see here. I'm downloading and all that. Okie dokie Pinocchio. Today's featured comment comes from this My Little Pony goes by Cody2819, who says, hey now, what's with how the Black Ranger went on a date and ain't nobody noticed and mobbed that dude? Yeah, what was up with that? Alright, so now I gotta tell you, the next week's episode of SuperCharge is gonna be hot like lava! No, I'm serious. Let's take a bite out of episode 6 of SuperCharge, Forged Under Fire. Tyler looks forward to catching up with his dad after not seeing him for the past 10 years. When Tyler's energem becomes cracked, he is forced to mend it by placing it in hot lather and prove to his dad that he's not a kid anymore. So boom and a bang, and that's wrapping it up all neat style for this Dino SuperCharge episode review. If you liked it, make with the likes and the subscriptions and the such. If you want to be like Mr. Pony over there, leave yourself a comment below, maybe see what we can choose for you next week, huh? And, hey, what's that thing you say, kid? Huh, what's that? Oh, right. Until next time, may the power protect you.
And it's somehow Anyway, I think I've gathered enough data to challenge I'm having trouble with the word channel. I already said that! Anyway, I think I've gathered enough data to channel the spirit Anyway, I think I've gathered enough data to channel the spirit in and you ended up in the Zord, and it seems to have grown larger to a farts! I see. When you grabbed the charger, you switched bodies with whatever was in the
But in any case, welcome to another Power Rangers Dino Charge episode review. Farts! Supercharge! Tyler tosses a dino Tyler begins acting like a T-Rex, wildly attacking his friends before running off. At the lab, Kendall discovers the virus. You gotta have that live monitoring, Kyle. Kyle? Farts! You saw nothing. Nothing. Oh, Lord help me. Chase points out that Tyler's dad hasn't aged a day from the photo, surmising it must be that the Aqua Energem is frozen his... This is the debut of a new power-up, so of course Tyler proceeds to beat Ninja 18 shades of half of a stupid. Some might see Aqua as having a yeah, that was good. No, it wasn't. It's bad. Ever since the cave-in. But they didn't know there were any other Energems or other Power Rangers until Rust... That was kind of going off the rails anyway, so that's okay. The episode ends with a nice father-son game of catch where we learn that, interestingly, I can put pauses in my sentences. Introducing Aqua in this way was both a subtle and worthy payoff. 2! Episode 5. Episode 5! But it was played... But this week, the cons...
I think I'm set, but we're gonna have to risk the other shotgun charger.
Why? Do that again. Well, I guess we don't have a choice. Let's do it.
Activating conduit
Farts! So a boom and a bang and that's wrapping it up all neat style for this Dino Charge Supercharge episode.